Hey guys, so I actually recorded a video about this situation last night and ended up deleting it because I felt like I kind of discredited myself and I kind of discredited how I felt in the beginning about a lot of things. I'm always going to remain positive because it has turned into a very positive situation. So, but I feel like I shouldn't have discredited how I felt as a mom, because I don't think anybody, should ever just, shy away how they truly feel about certain situations, because they care about how people think or how people are going to perceive them. So I just wanted to make a video basically talking about how I felt going into the situation, how the situation went, and how I felt when I left the situation. And so first of all, you're probably gonna hear my grandma talking on the phone in the back, but first off, how I kind of felt was, I kind of felt like because I didn't really put my life out there anymore, I didn't show everybody everything off bat like I used to, because I wasn't a part of a family channel. And, I would tweet what I wanted or post on Instagram, but I wasn't constantly posting videos every week for you guys to see everything that I was doing. It left a lot of room for a lot of people to have a lot of assumptions about me, that I never had my daughter, or, I don't ever pay attention to my daughter. I had a lot of people saying that I was a bad mother because I didn't post my daughter on social media all the time. And, at a time, like, it did get to me because I felt like, damn, am I a bad mother because I don't post my daughter all the time, or am I a good mother because I actually take the time out to spend time with my daughter, in person? And I feel like that's what really matters the most. But I don't discredit anybody who lives their life that way. I'm just saying that, like, that's how I choose. I'm speaking for myself. So yeah, a lot of it, did cause me to feel a certain type of way about certain situations. Sometimes I looked at the glass a little half empty rather than half full because of it, and because this is social media, and because of how people, would go on my pictures and say really hurtful things on purpose to get a rise out of me. And then as soon as they got that rise out of me, they would just flip around and turn into, oh, you're bitter, or you feel this way, or you da-da-da-da. But it's like, it's how, social media likes to manipulate situations. So I'm going to talk to you guys how I felt about everything. For one, I will say that, dating after you have a child is hard, because if you think about it, it's not about you anymore. It's about your child and how your child feels. So I felt like, a lot of people, because when me and Ronnie split and, I decided I didn't want to be in the relationship anymore, I felt like a lot of people blamed me for it. And I get it, because it was such like a public relationship. But what a lot of people don't understand is that, you rather your children grow up and see you in a loving relationship, whether that is with the father or mother, of the child, or, just if it's somebody else, if it's another significant other. And that's what you really want for your kids. And, we just weren't rocking the way that we used to. And that was okay. And that there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I come from a blended family. He comes from a blended family. That doesn't mean, hey, because we come from blended families, we have to be blended family. But sometimes it just works that way, and sometimes it's just how it is, and it's modern day. I mean, if you have parents that have been together for 40 years and you guys have all the same mom and dad, that's great. That's amazing. A lot of people don't have that luxury, and that's fine. But it's not a problem if you do, as long as you feel loved. And that's the main reason. So I will say maybe the number one fault on my behalf was, dating right away after, that split, after that 4-year split. I just jumped right off to the next thing instead of really sitting down and thinking about it. And that was my first mistake, And because if I would have known that situation was going to turn out how it did, and if I would have known that situation wasn't going to be a healthy one or wasn't going to last, I wouldn't have, ever introduced my daughter to it. Not that it wasn't a negative situation on my daughter. I always made sure that my daughter saw the greater sides of everything I've been through. I made sure my daughter didn't ever see the negative sides. My daughter's always seen the greater side. So it wasn't a negative on that part. But for me, it was. For me internally, it was a negative, because it didn't benefit me in any way. It didn't benefit, my life what I wanted in life, how I wanted to perceive myself, and I feel like a lot of people saw that. So that was my first mistake. But then again, I got, you know, discredited for dating after that breakup when I felt like nobody said anything about when he dated, you know, after the breakup. And this was before his relationship. Now, I'm on to my second relationship, and whether, you know, whatever, how he likes to call it or not, who he is with now is the second person he kind of, you know, got involved with after me and him broke up. But nobody seems to see it the same way, because I kind of lasted a lot longer with the person I was with than he did, which is not a problem because he's not making it seem that way. It's how everybody else is perceiving the situation, is that, oh, I just went and jumped on to the next person, which is, yeah, I dated somebody else, but why is it just me that, you know? So these are all things that are going through my mind, is like, damn, if I date somebody after the relationship, I'm a hoe, or I'm a slut, or I'm a bad mom. But if he does it, it's, oh, he's hurting, oh, I feel so bad for him, like, oh my gosh, you know? And I will remember, you know, one specific time, this is obviously before his girl now, I was in San Jose. I had already moved out of LA, and he had made a video where he took the girl that he was talking to the fair, and he had asked me already for permission, you know, about it, because he was gonna have her meet Mizo, and I didn't know who this girl was. And so, you know, I remember how hurt I felt because somebody had DM'd me and was like, hey, oh my god, I just saw you guys at the fair, Ameera is so beautiful. I'm like, what are they talking about? They're like, the fair out in LA, and I realized that I'm in the Bay, and I realized, oh, okay, that's what he was talking about. My daughter was around somebody completely different, no matter how it was perceived. And everybody's like, oh, I have my daughter around certain people, but it's okay if he does it, but if I do it, it's bad. So this is how I'm just showing you everything kind of tumbled into how I felt in the beginning, like, because, you know, I am the mother of Ameera, and there was so much backlash, you know, and I used to tell Ronnie, because he used to be like, you don't have to reply on social media, you don't have to, you know, always reply to when people hate you or when people say things about you. And I used to tell Ronnie, I would have been like, I was like, but me as the mother of your daughter, if you know that I'm a good mother, and you know that I'm this, and you know that I'm that, why don't you defend me? Why wouldn't you, you know? I was like, because we're not together, but I'm still the mother of your daughter. Why don't you defend me? I don't, you know? And maybe he has. I mean, we had each other for so blocked for so long. I don't really know. But like, I just kind of felt like, if you know, I'm the mother, if I'm a good mother, like, you're telling me, why aren't you defending me? Why you know, like, why aren't you telling everybody, hey, back off, that's the mother of my child, don't speak to her like that, because I would do the same for you. And he was like, well, I get hate too. And I was like, really, what hate do you get? And he was like, well, not as much as you. I was like, exactly. I was like, you know, it's harder on me because I get the most hate because I don't broadcast my life, and that's really sad. So it's like, I know I'm a good mother. My daughter freaking loves me. Like, she loves me unconditionally. Like, it's hard to tear me and Ameera apart. Like, we're like this. So, I mean, after a while, I was like, you know, I don't really care what other people think of that, because what matters at the end of the day is when Ameera gets older, she's gonna know for herself who was there for her, who loved her. It's not gonna matter about social media. It's not gonna matter about what people on YouTube think. It comes down to my daughter. It doesn't come down to, not to be rude, but to y'all, it doesn't come down to you guys saying, oh, Jasmine was as good of a mother. No, it doesn't, because you guys are not here. It really comes down to Ameera being like, my mom was a good mom. Whether you guys saw it or not, I lived it. And that's the most important part. I never get to tell how I felt or how I said. I always get discredited off of it. Or because I don't do YouTube, I shouldn't. Or I'm a clout chaser, I'm this. So I'm just keeping it real. This is how I felt in the beginning. Not saying it's how I feel now. So it's like all these little things like were adding up, and it was like, okay. And then when I was in my last relationship, you know, it was that they didn't really, he you know, it was just a tit for tat thing of like, you really want me to post online about, you know, like pictures of like all of us together. But then again, he was, you know, had Ameera for certain holidays, and they were matching outfits and they were posting pictures. And for me, it was like, okay, so you're telling me I shouldn't do it, or I'm wrong for doing it, when I wasn't even doing those things. And I had respect for you to not do it, but you can do it. And that was that whole thing, and that was that whole tit for tat and how that happened. And it caused like a big thing, and it wasn't even a personal issue. And I feel like this whole thing really wasn't a personal issue with me and who, you know, and with me and Michaela. I think it was more of a personal issue between me and Ronnie, and how, you know, we were trying to cope with each other, having other people around Ameera. And I don't think it was personally towards Michaela at all, you know, but it was hard. It's hard to, you know, have, you know, to have to, you know, give birth to somebody who's your everything, which is my daughter. She's my everything, to have me to share her. So that's like the hardest thing. And then you have people discrediting you, talking about, oh, you're a bad mom, you're this, you're that. And it's like, you don't even see all the things that I do with my daughter. So that was like the hardest thing. And then I woke up, and then I realized that it's just social media, and that nobody should be able to have this so much like pull on my life, especially people who don't know me. So, you know, I started to look at the situation as a glass that was half full instead of a glass that was half empty. And at the end of the day, that's how I kind of went into the situation. You know, there was somebody else in my daughter's life, and which was not a problem, you know, and then it's not a problem. Then, you know, they got a place together, and then they had a baby, and which was not a problem to me, because at the end of the day, we split. We didn't want to be together. I had already moved on. He had moved on. My problem is, why can't, you know, I meet this person who has been, you know, in my daughter's life, who has been getting my daughter ready, who has been making my daughter look super cute, who has been doing my daughter's hair, which she does great, by the way, because we all know I can't do it. Why can't I meet this person who is, you know, that everybody is claiming is such a wonderful person in my daughter's life? Why can't the mother herself, meet this person herself and be able to thank this person herself? Why can't I do that? And that was my thing. It was like, why am I not allowed to meet this person? This meetup that we did at Chuck E. Cheese, I'm so glad that it's happening. It happened with the person that I am happily with now, and it didn't happen in my last relationship, because I wouldn't have wanted to make that mistake again of introducing somebody who wasn't permanent in my life to people that were permanent in my life. Because regardless of me and Ronnie not being together, that is somebody who is permanent in my life. That is the father of my daughter. So it's like, you know, and like I made that mistake of introducing somebody who was just temporary to my daughter, and I don't want to ever make that mistake again. So I'm so happy that I'm doing it. I did it with the person that, you know, Omar, that I'm with now. So that's like, makes me feel really great about the situation. So out of respect, I even told him, I said, you know, you'll never 100% understand how I feel, because, you know, my boyfriend now, he doesn't, you know, he doesn't post pictures of Ameera, you know, on social media every day. He doesn't, you know, we don't all get cute in matching outfits, and we don't post it on social media every day. We don't do this. And I told him, I was like, you know, Omar won't get mistaken for Ameera's dad, because we don't do stuff like this. And it doesn't mean that what he's doing is wrong. I'm just saying, like, Ronnie will never understand 100% how I feel in that situation, because I don't do the same things to him. And I'm not saying that what he's doing is wrong. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it. They're a family, and that's blended families. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just saying, like, Ronnie doesn't understand my hurt, because he doesn't feel that hurt, because he doesn't have to go through it, because I didn't do the things he did for him to feel the same way. And so that's how I felt going into it. I kind of felt like, okay, I was kind of in between a rock and a hard place, and you know, and she's only getting older, and she's realizing it. So now all this accumulates to going to meet at Chuck E. Cheese. Now, you know, after wanting this for so long, you know, Ronnie finally said, hey, her birthday's coming up. Maybe we should all meet. I'd like to meet your boyfriend, and I think you should meet Mackie. And I thought that was a great idea, because I think it's, you know, it's long overdue. So pulling up to the situation, I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I'm a little nervous. I was like, you know, this is like a big thing. Like, you know, this is like something new for everybody. Everybody's going through something different. Like, this is a first for so many people. So I walk in, I meet her. She's so sweet. She's really, really sweet. I got to see their daughter. She's gorgeous. Together, Ameera was a little confused in the beginning because she was kind of like, whoa, there's so many different people here. What's going on, you know? But then, like, you know, after a while, she loved it. It's what Ameera needed, and it's what I needed. So many questions that I had were answered, and I feel like that's how it felt for everybody. And I remember telling Michaela, I was like, it's so good to meet you. I'm finally glad I get to meet you. I've been waiting for a long time, but I understand, you know, this is a touchy situation for everybody. It's a new, you know, this is my first time meeting somebody Ronnie's dating. This is Ronnie's first time meeting somebody I'm dating. It's happening on Ameera's birthday. They have, you know, a new beautiful baby, and I'm going to be starting my family with Omar because I feel like that's who I want to be with. And I feel good because, you know, we all met, and I feel like these are the permanent people in Ameera's life. I wanted to thank her for being a good role model in Ameera's life, and for taking care of her and being there for her and making her look really bomb all the time. So I should have thanked her, but it'll, you know, it'll come on in different terms, or, you know, we're not going to all be hanging out all the time, but, you know, Ameera's gonna have graduations. She's gonna have, maybe if she wants to play sports, she's gonna have games, maybe musicals, whatever Ameera's gonna want to do in life, we're all gonna be there. We're gonna have so many opportunities to be there for all of our kids that, you know, it's like your permanent distant family in a way. So going into the situation, I was really happy, and I felt really happy about it. I think it went really well. And, you know, a lot of people, I feel like, don't really know that I do have a boyfriend because I don't, you know, post it on social media so much. And the reason for that is, obviously, I am in a relationship. I am happily taken by somebody. It's not a secret. It's just really nobody's business, because a lot of times when you hold something so dear to your heart, how I hold my daughter, and how I hold my family, and how I hold my man, I hold those things so dear to my heart that, like, I'm learning to not really expose it so much, because if you expose it so much, it gives people room to tear that shit down, and I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm finally in a point in my life where I'm happy with the people in it, and they have genuine intentions for me, and that's what I don't want to lose. And I don't want social media to ruin that. But again, I know that social media is the life that we all chose as a career path, so I get it, trust me. But I just, you know, with my relationship, I made the mistake before of always parading and, you know, posting my certain relationships, and, you know, a lot of times it was the people who didn't genuinely care for me. It was people who looked at my status of who I was and thought that I was going to give them handouts or help them out, or in this generation, clout, whatever. So I jumped into situations where people were just kind of, like, in a way, using me, and, you know, basically liking me because of what the status they thought I had, or what clout I had, and then being insecure about that status, and then end up, you know, being unfaithful to me. And that kind of hurt, and to realize, wow, you didn't really like me for me, and I just showed you to the world, and then you tear me down, and, you know, emotionally, and it sucks. And then, you know, and then you have kids, and you don't want to show your kids that. So it's like, I have to say, I am really a strong person for how strong I am, because I didn't ever let my daughter see, you know, the sad side of me or anything, because I've always showed her the 100%. And that's the mother strength, I'll tell you that. So when I got into my new relationship, I've known him for over 2 years. He's always been, like, a really good guy in my life. You know, sorry, you can hear my grandma talking in the back. I've always been a really good guy in my life. And then, you know, we took the steps into dating. And we started talking a long time ago. And then, you know, we stopped for whatever reasons. And we came back to each other. And I feel like that was the timing that was perfect. You know, if you really love something, and you know, you like that person, you know, not saying cliche like let it go, but it was just like it happened. It came back around, and I knew it was for me, because he was so patient, he was so kind, he was so supporting, so genuine. And then, you know, but I wanted to make sure that I was, you know, I was with somebody who was with, you know, for me. So, you know, I didn't really post a lot of it. I didn't really share a lot with people. I wanted to see if this guy was there for me, and he is. And he's proven it every single day, because I can be a hard person to be with. And I'm not going to say that in every relationship I wasn't the problem, because I'm a hard person to be with. And this guy, and I'm not going to say this guy because he has a name, but Omar really can handle me, but in the most, like, gentle way. And he's so good with Ameera, and he's such a great person in life. He treats her like his own, but he also knows his boundaries. He knows how to be around her. And so that was the greatest part about it. And I think Ronnie can see that, and I see the same thing for Mackie, that we both have genuine people in our lives, and that's the best for our daughter. And she loves Mackie, and she loves Omar. She loves her parents. She loves everybody around her. She gets double the love. So that's the best part. So now this is how I felt leaving the situation. I felt happy, because I felt happy for my daughter, that, you know, we can all be in the same place together. And, you know, the journey of this whole thing has been a roller coaster, and it's been something that's new for everybody, you know, because it is an awkward situation, and you have to understand that, you know, Mackie and Omar both going into the situation, it's a little awkward, and we get it, and it's understandable, you know. It's like you're kind of walking on eggshells, because you kind of don't know. We've never been in the situation before, so we don't know how to really act in it. But it was great that it went the way that it did. And but I just wanted you guys to kind of see where I was coming from the situation in the beginning. Before I go, I just want to say to anybody who's going through this specific situation, I just want to be really transparent for you. It's not easy. It's hard. You know, depending on the people that are in the situation, it's a complex situation. And, you know, a lot of you're not alone. You know, I just want people to know your feelings are valid. Especially when it comes to your children, your feelings are valid. Don't let anybody discredit you and think that you can't feel a certain way. You can feel the way that you want to feel, as long as you're being civil about it. You know, like, you know, these are our babies. These are who we're supposed to protect. Like, you can feel the way you want to feel. You fight for your kids. You fight for the things you want for your kids. And I feel like, you know, nobody should ever be discredited off of that. And, you know, social media is a heck of a place, but, you know, if you choose that to be the place you want to share your personal life, you can't really complain about it in the end. But I love my daughter. She's amazing. She's beautiful. She's 4. She's smart. She's everything. And all I want is the best for her. So if you're going through this situation, just know that you're not alone. Just know that it'll eventually get easier. We just, you know, a lot of people just got to put on their grown-up pants, their parent pants, and do things not to be petty. I don't do things to be petty when it comes to situations with my daughter. I always think of her happiness first over mine. I don't do things to be petty. I do things, you know, for the sake of her, because, you know, I birthed her. Like, I grew her inside of me. And just for me to grow somebody inside of me and to be discredited as a mother when I know I'm a great one, it sucks. But you know what? At the end of the day, when my daughter grows up, she's gonna know. She knows. That's what I'm gonna say. She knows. And that's all that matters. So thank you guys for watching my video. I love you guys. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I'm gonna be posting on YouTube all the time, because, you know, I don't really do that in my life. It's not that great all the time to be posting, but if I do, I'll let you guys know. But I thought that this video had to be said, and I wanted to be transparent and be real with you guys, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's hard. But I'm glad we were all able to come together on the day that mattered the most, which is her birthday. So regardless of what happens from here on out, I'm glad that we all had that chance to be civil. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I love you. I will talk to you guys when I want, because I choose to do what I want when I want. Bye.